I think I'm going to speak in English because Astrid is here, so she can understand
That's
this.
how you feel like I can also ask a question afterwards.
No, I think everybody understands English, and I understand a bit strange because I was preparing this presentation in Serbian, so if I say something weird, don't be angry.
We'll translate as we speak.
Yeah. Well, today we are going to talk about our game jam and our games that we made. For starters, I'm going to talk about our organizations. Just like you had a task to make Postmortem about your games, I had the task of making a Postmortem about the game jam itself. So, to begin with, this was a new global game jam, a new record. There was more than 23,000 participants in over 70 countries with 488 locations. So that's pretty large, and I think, yeah, a new Guinness record.
Guinness record, you said.
Yes, yes.
It's official.
Well, I think the previous global game jams were official Guinness World Records. Not 100% sure, but I think they were.
Yeah.
To us, this was the second global game jam that we hosted. We had 48 participants, about 55 official registrants, and there were 15 games made. One team made 2 games, actually. So let's start with our analysis, with what was good, what went well. Like I said, we had much more people than last year. We had almost 30 participants last year, and we were near 50 this time. That meant more finished games, and not just more quantitatively, but the ratio of participants to number of games made was much higher.
Yeah.
We only had one team that that didn't make something that you could call a finished game. They did submit it. It is kind of playable, but it doesn't have a goal.
Which team is that?
It's a team that didn't have presentations. They had to leave.
The one game with dinosaurs.
Yeah. But it was interesting. It was the only team. It was the only team that had more than 5 members.
They had more than 5 members.
If I remember correctly, yes. Yes, they had. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, they had exactly 5 members. Okay, my mistake. So we actually didn't have any gigantic teams. The largest teams were 5 members in total. We had a part of Global Game Jam Radio this year, which was really fun. We got to interview every one of you, every team, and not every one of you. But actually, I think we did interview almost every one of you.
I think we interviewed everyone. Okay,
No,
we had no interview for Snowfield.
Dragon did interview.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I didn't talk on that day.
Sorry?
Yeah, we didn't interview him.
Yeah,
And
we have, because he was in team with Totic and
yes.
Totic and me were talking on the radio.
Yes, exactly.
No, I just thought that
Against Dragon.
Dragon.
Dragon. Yes.
Dragon.
Yes.
Dragon. Damn Max Dragon.
Well, as Maya can testify, the radio was very fun. It was demanding, but we managed to pull it off, and we got every team interviewing time. Yes.
Yeah.
Question. Do we know if anyone listened to the radio? It's a task.
We could have checked
Yes.
in a way, I think.
Yes. I don't know the exact statistics, but I know that some of our people were listening.
Yes. We know about 2 people per certain.
When I say our people, I mean people from Serbia. I also know that Rob, the Global Game Jam Radio organizer, listened for a while.
Because he had to.
Yeah, I guess he had to. And I also assume that there are people listening to Global Game Jam Radio. I know that some foreigners got on our stream for a while and asked us to point the camera to the monitor so they can see what people are doing.
Yeah, actually, we had a bit of a problem with that, but I didn't want to alarm anyone. That camera that streams all the time,
Yeah.
well, most of the time it was someone's butt on the screen.
Yeah,
It was
probably
the
butts
first day it was yours. So they were telling me that the guy with the hair, he just scratched his butt, and I was, okay.
At least that was my butt.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay.
So it was a butt stream.
We can
Guy with
almost
the hair,
tease
thank
you
you.
free. Thank you, skinheads community.
Global Game Jam butt stream.
Butt strip.
Butt stream.
It's ass.
Okay. Off topic a bit. I had an idea for a strip game jam.
Oh gosh, no.
Oh well.
It's a game jam where you have milestone every 8 hours, and if you don't do what you plan to do, you have to take a piece of clothing off.
Gloves. Socks.
So you try to make a game before you lose all of your clothes. Or
But are you aware of the fact that there are more males than females in the gym?
that's why you have to. Yeah.
I asked a different question. When he told me that, I said,
Oh, yeah.
and what to do with us that, like code naked? And he said, well, you have to restart the gender. Okay.
Okay.
What went well as well? What went well as well?
What is
Buffalo
Try
Buffalo.
saying that 3 times faster.
We had a much bigger event this year. We had fantastic friends, companies, sponsors that helped us make this a bigger event. We had games, a Serbian game retailer. Video game store, yes, video game retailer, that first offered us a gaming lounge with the 2 PlayStations, thanks to them, where people could take a break, play some games, play Tekken, fight a bit, and get back to game development. Yes?
Excuse me, I just want to make a correction. It wasn't just games, it was games and roaming as well.
Yes,
Roaming
games,
another
games
telling, another telling,
and thanks to games, we got to roaming. Yeah.
Trust me, Rolling wouldn't remember that thing with you said them. If you went to them directly.
I believe so, yeah.
But what was amazing was that at one point games decided to give us prize vouchers, which we gave away to our participants in a lottery at the end of the jam.
Which actually never happened before, ever, according to Games Executive Officer here.
No, I'm just a community.
No, he's just a community member now. He's not. He's not official. Are you official?
What are you talking about?
I'm internet official.
What's talking like in India?
Are you official?
Are you official? Are you official?
Well, that's because I am from India. Board Game Club C22 also gave us nice prizes. They gave out prizes to board gamers, and since there was not enough people making board games, they gave out 1 prize to 1 special participant. So that was also nice to have. And we also had something interesting for everybody to see, Oculus Rift. I believe everyone played with it for at least a bit, and we actually had 1 team developing a game using Oculus Rift.
That's an
Bum,
achievement.
bum, bum. Yeah, that's an achievement. I mean, they got it, they saw it first time during the jam. They downloaded.
I'll postmortem it later.
Yeah, he'll postmortem it later. Is you coming?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think
And-
he's asleep. He was working.
That's pretty much everything that went well. Now, there's a lot of stuff that didn't. Fortunately, the things that didn't go well could be seen from our side, by us organizers, and we gave our best so the 2 participants don't suffer because of these
Organizational problems?
mishaps. Yes, yes. So in essence,
No, there's not a hole in this wall, but there's no hole.
no, it's a poster. It's a design.
Feature.
Yeah, feature. In essence, all the problems can be split into categories. Problems came because there were only 3.5 of us. So Manya, Miroslav, me, and Ranko, who helped out a bit. He helped out a lot. We're very thankful to him. He helped out a lot while we were looking for sponsors and friends that could help us. So here is one official. Ranko, thank you very much.
Whatever we want.
And the other problem, the other category of problems is communication. We had some miscommunication issues. We didn't inform people about some things in time. We'll talk about it now. So, as I said first, there was only 3.5 men.
Well, Ranko counts as 2, so that's 4 guys.
Okay, it's 4. Then, unlike previous jams that we hosted here, we had always around not more than 30 people jamming and doing stuff. We had almost 50 people this year. I think half, if not more, of them were new to game jams. So that meant a lot of questions being asked, a lot of things being had to done, a lot of running from one table to the next, from one person to another. Yes?
And we actually had a strategy for containing that, like splitting you into groups and then working, with groups. But 15 minutes
But
in,
that had gone with the wind, if you wish.
15 minutes in, and he started running around. Like, okay, I have to help this one and this one, and I couldn't catch him anymore.
Yeah. Since I didn't make that slide, I forgot about that. I remembered last night, and I was too sleepy, so I said, I'll remember it during the presentation. So we had an idea when the jam started to split people into groups, everyone into 4 groups, with each one of us, Miroslav, Manya, Ranko, and me, as group moderators, so we could help everyone form a team.
He also
Unfortunately,
gave those teams names, so...
yeah, I made those groups before the jam. Unfortunately, we didn't know at that time with whom everybody was going to work. So when the jam started, when we actually found out who wants to work with whom, those groups fell apart. They couldn't work. And by the time we could reorganize those groups, people already started asking, hey, can you point me to someone who does art and needs some help with that? I'm a programmer. And the other came and said, hey, can you point me to a programmer? And so instead of wasting another half hour trying to fit everyone with everyone, I just started running around and pointing everyone to people that could work together.
RPGing people around.
Downloading people. He does that best.
Thank you.
U-D-A-U-D-B-U-7.
And as the bullet point number 3 said, we had much more things going on. We had the gaming lounge, we had the radio, we had the games, the game making. So it was
Food ordering.
food ordering. Yes, food ordering took quite some time. It took
90%?
yeah. I mean, the jam started, then teams got formed, then we started ordering food, and then it was already 11 p.m. And I brought my desktop. I was optimistic this time that I would actually make a game during this jam. I usually don't make games when I organize jams. But I was thinking, okay, Miroslav and Manya are taking part into this. This is going to be easy. I might actually get a chance to develop something. So I brought my desktop and I set it up at about 12 p.m. 12 a.m. Okay, at midnight. So and that's the only time I actually got to sit at my desktop.
Sorry, was your computer even used by anyone?
It was used about an hour or 2 by me. Yeah. So it's not completely wasted effort.
Yeah, not
Did I miss a slide? No. Because we were lacking in manpower, There's another word for that.
For a moment there I was thinking you'd say manhood.
Manhood definitely wasn't lacking a week ago.
Yeah, there were ideas of getting in touch with other locations, getting a Skype conference call so we could wave the participants in Finland, in Greece, say hi, they say hi to us, we have fun together for a while. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time or manpower to get to that because, like I said, there were only so many of us. We missed.
Actually, had that came earlier, I think we could have managed, but I didn't even know that was
In that
part of
case,
the
we
plan.
would
So,
have managed everything.
I think that's part of the communications problem.
That is as well, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
For example, some of these issues I communicated with Miner, but somehow I used to communicate with you.
And the two of us, we don't speak IHE.
No, you communicate about the game.
So
We
my
missed the
assumptions
opportunity.
were based on the facts.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We missed the opportunity to take a group picture and to make a group video greeting. That's something that would have been really nice because we would have taken part in Global Game Jam 15 promo. So that's something we should try to do next year.
Okay.
Now, one of the biggest communications issues we had is time after time we forgot to point out the Wi-Fi password on the projector screen or on the blackboard before the jam begins. Alternatively, we could have distributed it on pieces of papers, or as someone suggested, print the Wi-Fi name and the username and the password on the badges that we give out to participants, so that everyone has has it and can't forget it. Yes, is it everywhere? So because we didn't do that, we had once again to run from person to person to give them out passwords. Sometimes even a few times.
And if the word the password like hello, that wouldn't be a problem. But with the current AZWY
Somebody wrote from 15.
Yeah, maybe we can extrapolate the password into a formula. So this is the password. Just solve this, and you can access the Wi-Fi. If you can't solve it, you don't deserve it.
Sure, that's nice.
Get the fuck out of here.
No password. No password.
Yeah, while the friends that helped us were really fantastic, we had quite the issues with looking for friends and sponsors. The official routes to the university were very slow, and we actually didn't get to any event sponsor through the university, through our marketing department. We got some press coverage, and our university gave us snacks and drinks. So they did give us something, but we didn't get other help through them. And unfortunately, many of the companies require an official letter to be sent on time, at least a month and a half earlier, usually longer. Yes?
I think there's a big thing to be noted here, because you said that it was too late for the faculty to intervene when it comes to those showers we wanted to provide for the participants and all other stuff. I have this feeling, and I feel like sharing this with you guys, is the fact that I think the Metropolitan University is in every game jam iteration less interested in the event. Last time, when we did the indie speed run, we had drinks and snacks. They brought their roll-up marketing stuff to bear in the premises, but this time they even didn't bother to bring those marketing billboards, roll-ups, flyers, and all that. So I think the major problem with the Metropolitan was that they weren't really interested.
I think also there's a giant communication issue within the university itself. So I won't dwell on it too much because this is our postmortem now.
Definitely, yes.
With each year, with each jam, I discovered that there's another sector that I can work with, and it seems that those sectors don't work well together. Yes? So I happened to send one information to logistics, but then to talk about organization with the logistics team, then I go to the IT team, and things turn out to be different. So in the end, it turned out for the best that I be a mediator, not just between us and the university, but between university sectors as well. Yeah.
Pretty nasty thing.
We also had some sponsors that cancelled. Should I name them?
No.
No,
Of course.
no. I won't name them.
Call.
But
No, but big things to them.
we had some sponsors that promised us some nice things, some neat things. People even expected some of those things, but they didn't call us on time. They just didn't show up.
They even didn't, respond to
Could
messages.
you speak up, please?
Yeah, he said that they
some of
didn't
them
even respond to
messages or calls or.
Okay, then that's a pretty normal thing. When one tells you, okay, we're interested, and then
After that, I mean,
okay,
They
they
said,
stopped
okay,
communicating at
we'll
all.
organize
Yeah,
this.
they promised
Yeah.
something,
Yes,
but
yes.
they didn't tell us they are giving up.
Yeah, okay, understood.
Yeah. Okay, this is what's went wrong for us very much, especially for me because I ended up carrying that load most. We let you. We didn't have a hard deadline. We let you have some space. You didn't have to finish exactly on time, unofficially. And that turned out to be very costly for us because some of the participants took their time. They were finishing like 30 minutes before the submission deadline, and there was some of you were submitting your games in the last minutes. So that meant that I had to run from each team to the next several times. To instruct you on how to upload, to check if you uploaded, to check if everything is all right, and those 2 hours were the most demanding for me. The submission deadline was 6 p.m. at 17:56. I was about to explode. I had to retire. I told some people who submitted their games to instruct the few people who still haven't done so, and I went to the buffet to the lounge to get some rest. So that's partly happened because so this is a communications issue because we didn't discuss among us the procedure thoroughly. We actually didn't discuss the procedure very much. I just mailed them the Global Game Jam manual, and we didn't actually talk about it. So somehow happened. It was somehow came to be understood. Okay, this was a very complicated sentence. It was somehow understood that I have this in mind, so you can always talk to Damir. And
I thought you were going to like upload the games for us.
exactly. Okay. We won't talk about that. Yeah. That would have happened if the servers were crashing like last year. Last year, Global Game Jam servers were much more.
Stable?
What?
Stable?
No, much more unstable, much more overloaded, much more overloaded. Only one team managed to upload their game, and we had much less teams. We were also okay. This year we went with the time zone, with the next time zone. We didn't go. We didn't start with our time zone, so that might be only a little. That might have helped only a little, but they improved their infrastructure this year, so it was much better.
But as it turned out, you could submit the game without actually submitting the game. You could just submit the information about the game and then submit the source and binaries later. So
Yeah, because you could have prepared that on Saturday evening and prepare everything for upload so that you don't have to think about it.
I think that's smarter because doing everything the last moment and having a large upload of the game is somehow risky because the upload fails and none of your form is submitted to the other side.
Yeah.
To be honest, their official explanation how to upload the game and all the manual.
Jeez.
Lack clarity was
Yeah, I
it's kind
noticed.
of messy because it displayed a folder structure that you must follow, and then demanded to upload the game in two separate formats, and
Yeah,
it was like,
the upload
what the hell is? What the hell do you mean just exit? Just exit? But you said I need to upload press and stuff, and also they didn't really clearly explain the whole creating the portfolio of the game on their website, because they said, oh, you can start uploading your game before and you can make a page for a game, but people thought that once I upload the files, that's it, and I cannot change everything. And yes, that
No, because
we
we
figured
about
about
how it
yes,
how it
but we
felt.
figured it out on
Yeah.
the Sunday at 5 p.m.
Yeah. Excuse me, can you hear me in the background?
I can hear everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that was very confusing because I know I was running from team to team. The procedure in the instructions said one thing, and the upload form was completely different. But I think they're aware of those problems and they're going to fix them for next year.
It wasn't very complicated. The manual is quite okay. Just few steps.
It was different. Yeah.
Sorry, there is one thing I must admit as a former jammer, the one that participated in the speed run. For example, Gwen and me were participating in ISR in September, so we knew about the procedure. I think we anticipated the fact that we have to submit the game data, not the binaries, but the source code, but the title, but the about section, but the tag things, the URLs, and all that. So I think that the people who made it through some game jams already knew about the procedure in a way, but still we had about half of I believe half the participants weren't jammers previously. I think so.
Especially board gamers.
Especially board gamers, because
we're talking about Global Game Jam now.
Sorry?
We're talking about Global Game Jam now. Again.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes.
but for example, the crews that made board games.
They weren't doing such things previously in life because they had game jams were in C22.
Yes, they had a board game jam in C22.
Yes,
But
they weren't submitted online.
exactly.
Yeah, it was a much more casual jam.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Display it on the scene and play testing and stuff. So they weren't stressing about uploading stuff,
Exactly.
taking photos, scans. They weren't even considering that. And
I think we'll get to that.
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah. We have a special slide for board games.
They deserve it.
So something interesting that's happened. Okay, it's understandable. I was in direct contact with a Global Game Jam organizer, so it's understandable that Miroslav and Manja will turn to me about Global Game Jam questions. But interestingly, participants were mostly running towards me with questions. I don't know, Mike, how many questions did you get on the jam from the participants? Miko was on his computer, so he seemed like he was busy and he was avoiding.
No, I was actually, you're not fair. I was
Yes?
covering the technical issues with everyone.
Yeah, okay, yes.
he helped me how to beat him in Nidhogg.
Yeah, Miroslav
I gave Nidhogg courses.
was support for the jam. Game development support. Right.
And I don't know anything about global game. What is that?
What's a global
Do
game?
you eat that?
Yeah, global games.
Global Jam is
Wait, Maya wants to say something.
About the thing you said about asking questions
Yes.
to other people from the organization. They weren't. They knew that those batches with mustache were the organizers, but I doubt anybody asked Ranko anything. So the funny thing about the whole event is the fact that the people knew instinctively what to ask you, what to ask me, and what to ask Miroslav. For some reason.
I think that's true.
Yes, because they asked you about those high-level organizational things. They asked Miroslav about Unity, and they asked me about, where can I get Wi-Fi password? Where can I get my sandwich? Where can I get anything?
I think it's the shape of the mustache.
Yes, because I'm anonymous.
Yeah.
I had much
So
bigger
I
beard
think that's meta social thing to think about. Because the people knew that in advance. They weren't sure. They didn't ask me anything about Unity for some reason.
Yeah, but I think
Anything at all.
Does this vex you?
Sorry?
Does this vex you?
Oh no, not really.
I'll ask you something about Unity. I'll ask you something about Unity, I promise.
Do you believe in unity of
If
people?
you will.
so I think a bit of the problem was that when we had introductions, when we had keynotes, when the jam started, Manya and I were standing. We were seen standing by the people, and you and Ranko were on the sides. Ranko came and talked a bit, then moved away. You just stood up when they called you an asset. I'm so sorry about that.
And he spoke about diversifiers.
He
As well.
called me an asset.
Now I publicly apologize.
I'm sorry. No, I am an asset. I really am.
You're an asset.
Yeah, that was my plan all along. Yeah, okay. Go on.
So I think that's all for this slide. Any questions? No? Go further. Board gamers. Board gamers. Okay, we had some big issues with board gamers. I'll start chronologically. So when we officially announced that we're hosting another global game jam, I submitted a form to board gamer groups. Are you interested in having a board game jam as a part of global game jam that we're organizing in January? This was a Google form just to check interest, and a few people applied. Then we had a game dev meetup, and a few more people came and said, "Hey, we're interested in that. We'd like to come." So we opened up our registrations for board gamers. We sent them a new link to register on Global Game Jam site, but what happened was that we informed them by mail and both of those groups that they should register on Global Game Jam website. But what happened was that some didn't see the mail, didn't see the information on the boards, and didn't register on time. Some didn't sign up in either of the forms, neither on the Global Game Jam website, neither on the board game form. Most of them thought that this was a casual event. They could just show up and in batches and start making games for one day and then leave, and that's it. So when we closed the applications, the registrations, I had a talk with one of the board gamers who wanted to jam because he was talking about coming to the jam, but he wasn't registered. And then we discovered
He was talking about bringing friends to the jam.
Yes,
5 or 6
yes,
friends to the jam.
he was also he had that idea of bringing quite a few friends on the day of the jam without registering, and we had already started organizing the jam for 53 people that we had registered at that time. So it was a bit problematic, and but we decided, okay, people, this is how it's going to be. This is the form where you apply. if you're interested in having a board game jam, in taking part in board game jam. You have 24 hours to apply, and that's it. So we got a few more applications. Fortunately, there were two board game teams, actually 3 board game teams that registered correctly. 2 people were missing, but that was easy to deal with because most of the team was already registered and we accounted for them. So in the future, well, we'll talk about solutions a bit later, but I think one of the problems was because they took places to apply, because you have to talk much more intimately with them. You can much more personally. It seems like Facebook groups and mails are not the primary mode of communications for that group.
Sorry, I have something to add here. It's a funny story, but it was my idea to invite board gaming friend of the event and from Novi Sad and to actually make him bring people to the game jam to get some, well, people from other cities and so on. And I know this guy, I knew him for, I think it's 12 years now, so it's a really, and most of all, Ranko knows him for even longer, 20 plus years. So it's really weird that he didn't show up, but that doesn't matter. What matters is this. So I give him a call. I tell him that I'll be coming to his office, say Thursday or something like that, and I go. While I'm there, I talk to him, I lie and explain all of this. So I gave him the site, I showed him the group, I sent him the mail, you know, I explained every single thing, only so that he wouldn't register anyone at all, himself included, until the last day, when I give him a call and he said something like, well, yeah, I told my guys about it. So I told them that this is a 2-day event and stuff like that. But we don't really understand how it's gonna work. I was like, what don't you understand? I mean, maybe I can explain. And he was like, well, yeah, so, okay, we were thinking of coming over, say, Sunday, and making games for that day. And I was like, no, come over Friday, you know, you can sleep there, there'll be spaces to sleep, just come over Friday as the opening and then make your game, well, through Saturday and Sunday, and Sunday it ends and you go home. And he was like, yeah, okay, I'll see what I can do, and he never called me back ever again. He doesn't answer my calls, he doesn't respond to my messages.
Even today?
Even today, no.
He's still looking for what he can do.
Yeah. And
That's really weird.
that's really, really weird. Especially because I can just go to him now and say, hi, what the fuck? Because it's really, it's really somehow wrong. No, it's really wrong. I mean, I know him. You know, we were, I
Sort of close friends.
No, I held a club in the board game club and stuff like that, and he was my closest associate in that phase. And from then on, we've always been really good friends. And he doesn't even answer the phone now. I don't know. He invites me to their events on Facebook on the same day. So I'm coming over to the game jam, and I get a notification about, hey, they're organizing an event. Do you want to come? I was like, what? And the event is tomorrow. And I'm like, why are you even? So yeah, that's my side of it.
There's something about those board games.
I don't know. They're strange. And these guys never came actually. The 6 of them that wanted to come. Am I wrong?
6 of them.
With Milan.
Yes, they never applied.
They're angry. They're still angry, I guess.
It just reminded me of one more thing. Interesting, just most of the board gamers came on Saturday. Saw the team, saw how the things are being done, and then realized that I think it's at that moment when it really hits them that this is not a casual jam. There is a hard deadline that games should be submitted. So I know at least one team that came on Saturday just check out the theme and think about the game, and then okay, let's actually be starting with the development tonight.
Yeah.
So,
So we should write it somewhere, this is not a casual game jam or something like that.
well, I'm thinking about next time
This is not a
going to clubs and hosting presentations, maybe even hosting some small game jams so they can get accustomed to the format.
No, well, I was more thinking of something like standing in the door, and when they come in, you just, take them by the shoulders and say, "This is not a casual game jam," and then let them go. So that should rock their boat.
If you don't finish on time, you die.
Yeah, something like that.
But there's one
Well,
thing.
donation depends on you.
Sorry?
If you don't finish on time, you lose your clothes.
No, sorry.
What?
Is it with you? Okay, sorry.
The people like the fact this wasn't a formal game jam. People like the fact this was casual.
This was casual.
This team jam, it was casual in a way. There was no competition. It
Okay. I think
Elias-
we're kind of
Elias-
misunderstanding here. When I say casual jam, I'm thinking about the jam the board game jam that board gamers, some of the board gamers, actually all of the board gamers that came here had experience already. So it was a one-day game jam, about 8 hours, but there was no hard deadline. There were no prizes, there was no competition.
They're thinking more of a meetup where you make games, and not a game jam where you have so many hours.
This wasn't casual in the sense that we had determined start time, a hard deadline.
Okay.
We were part of another of a large event. So yeah.
Yeah, now
All right.
that we speak of it, all the board gamers on Global Game Jam that we had are people who already had already were at Game Jam, like
But just casual game jam.
Yeah, it was casual, but they had a deadline until,
Sure,
11 p.m. because that's the club
That
policy.
might actually be a fact because they signed up to came and made the games.
They knew exactly what is the
Yeah.
Game Jam.
A quote from that guy that wanted to bring friends says.
Maybe we shouldn't.
No, just the interesting part. I don't want to say who it was or anything, but
And Felix here.
just one quote.
Describe
Yeah,
what
we're streaming. Just
No,
we
just one
shouldn't be
quote that
shaming
was
people.
really, really interesting, because it somehow made no sense to me. But okay, maybe it does when it walks around here. So it's something like this. He said that the organizers globalized this event, so it's not casual anymore. That's I'm quoting him.
It doesn't
I
make
think I know.
sense.
This guy.
Yeah, so that doesn't matter really. He somehow perceives this as us globalizing, and how can we globalize an event without a larger event inviting us to globalize it? I mean that doesn't make any sense. Why would
Okay, I
he
think-
care about that?
I think that's just you're looking at it from wrong angle. It's just communications issue. He understood that this was going to be a different kind of jam. He had his idea of a jam.
But why weren't they here? I mean that doesn't change anything.
Well, it kind of changes his idea of a jam. It's not what he thought it was going to be.
He made games. He has time to make games. What's wrong with it? I mean, it's free. It's still free. It's still where he can come and make games. What was his idea? His idea was smaller. I mean, he doesn't want to come to a larger event because he's scared of.
More relaxed.
people.
More relaxed.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if that's
Well,
it, then
that's something that will be best discussed
yeah.
with him.
But it's strange. I mean, it's just something I never thought about. I wouldn't mind if someone called me to a larger event than to a smaller. I
But
mean,
isn't about the size, but more about like a different culture of having a jam, different practices, something that kind of.
maybe.
Yeah, it depends on the previous experience, I believe. Anyway.
Okay.
Shall we go on?
Yeah.
So that's one friend.
Domicile.com.
Donazai.com.
Domicile.
Just a few comments before we start dealing with possible solutions. Yeah, it's had something.
Oh, you can.
So this year we discovered that domestic.com, our food ordering service, has support for group orders, and it's only a thing for many of us. I choose a restaurant, mine chooses a restaurant, it doesn't matter. one of the organizers chooses a restaurant, sends a link to everyone, and everyone orders what they want to eat.
Except when Google email fails.
Except when email fails. Yes.
Because
So
Google
when
doesn't check
when it worked for people whom it worked, it was great because all the orders could be made in 30 minutes. No one had to move from their computers, and everyone would have the leisure of choosing what they want to eat on their own. Unfortunately, it was a new system for us, so we didn't really know completely how it works. First time we tried to order, we discovered that there is a time limit of 30 minutes, and after that there are no more orders being added to the basket. When you're ordering, you have to click on the order button, and some people didn't notice that, and some people didn't get their food because of that, or some people got their food eaten. So.
Did you get that food? Yeah.
I got it twice in the
When we were cleaning up, I found uneaten Chinese portion on the windowsill in that other room where
Chinese portion.
Yeah, because
whose was that? I mean,
actually those guys.
yeah.
I think those guys didn't understand the procedure and they didn't order very well.
And they also didn't understand Chinese food, so they got chopsticks and it was just left. like
Yeah,
that.
because they got Esther's food and they got Ivan's food.
What?
Yeah, Esther ordered, Ivan ordered. Ivan.
Really?
Sorry,
Daimar.
Daimler.
Daimar.
Hey, Skilla Man.
I think that Chinese thing was on my table like today or something.
Chinese
thing.
walking.
It's nice to have a Chinese thing after table. And our thing is the same. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
next time if we're ordering, we're Donossi.
Donossi.com.
Donesi.com.
Donesi is bring. Donossi is keep bringing.
Yeah. So I'm
But
going to
it's
repeat that
something.
for the stream. Donesi is bring, Donossi is keep bringing. So that everyone can hear that.
So we should make a startup for Donossi.com.
Yeah. That would have actually worked
It's a lot of
fantastic for the
people
jam because we ordered a few times during the day.
Just
Yeah.
keep bringing.
Yeah. So next time, if we're going to use this system, we should make an instruction for people that can. We should make instructions for people about how to use this service.
Put that on a badge as well.
Yeah, we're going to show 3 badges.
Well, yes, actually, it's not a badge anymore, it's a breastplate.
It's like Boy Scouts. You have a badge for everything. One badge for signing up, one badge with Wi-Fi, one badge with household.
How do I order food? Here's a bag.
I think Alexa just passed down the hall.
You could have a document with
No.
No, serious.
Yeah.
pictograms.
For a moment, my heart stopped. Okay.
Okay. Another thing worth noting is that some people weren't able to stay for the presentations. They had to travel to their home cities, or they were working tomorrow early and had to leave because of that. So just something worth noting, that maybe we should try to have presentations earlier during the day.
Well, that's connected with the hard deadline. I mean, that's all.
Yes, but okay, I'm talking about. I have a separate slide for that, but I'll talk now. If we actually had the hard deadline, the games would have been finished by 4 p.m. sharp, and uploading would be done by 5 p.m. tops. We could have started with the presentations earlier.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, but if I may say, it was actually good to have a hard deadline, which is not actually hard, because it gave you this extra 2 hours to finish those essential things that nobody would actually have if it was the real deadline.
Well,
I didn't have anything finished.
those 2 hours are dedicated to
No,
packing and
I
uploading.
want to say, if this kind of deadline was moved 2 hours earlier, then you could actually have it. You know, the people finish on time. With this kind of feeling that they should have
You mean
finished 2 hours ago.
we should move the deadline to 2 p.m.
Yes,
Have the real deadline at 4 p.m.
exactly.
and the uploading deadline at 6 p.m. Okay, that's an interesting idea. Originally, these deadlines come from a Nordic Game Jam. Work for 46 hours and then you have, I believe, 2 hours for presentations. So it would be a 48-hour experience. In our case, it was like a 56-hour experience.
We get more experience per hour.
Yeah.
Our server deals more experience to players.
Okay, I don't know how many of you guys saw our website. It's almost 2 years old. It was created for the first game jam that we had here. It wasn't even global game jam. So it hurt some people's eyes. Some people are more tolerant. Some people actually liked it originally.
I had to work on it to put material there, and there's this thing. He told me to put an image from the sponsors down there, and I put it down, and the top just moves away. And I'm like, what happened here? So it's really not manageable, but that's okay.
Yeah, but I just like to comment that we should try. It would be nice to redesign the website and have some pictures from our jams and videos and the games available there, so people who are looking about the jam information can see how it went before, what was made, what can be done in the 48 hours, and similar stuff. Now, on to the solutions. Most importantly, we need more people working on this. So I'm going to start now by asking you to consider joining us in the organization of the next jam or on the organization of the next event. We're going to try to make something interesting this summer, and we could use all the help we can get. Like we barely pulled it off this time with around 50 people, and would like to create something amazing this summer. So if you're interested, if you can help us, raise your hand now.
It's too far to think that much.
Okay, some people.
I help, but I want to participate.
Okay, the
So-
more.
I have a question as well.
Yes.
What's going to happen in summer?
Well,
To be announced.
we can talk about it after this postmortem. So the rest of you think about it. If you decide that you have time, that you're able to somehow help us. We need help with writing emails, contacting sponsors, being available during the jam, answering questions, taking care of shifts. If you can help with anything of that, or anything else comes to your mind, get in touch with us, please. We need your help very much. You asked something.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, because we'd like to have greater jams, not smaller jams.
Yeah, this alternative isn't really.
Well, it's an organizational alternative. We can only keep up with so much.
Yeah.
If you want a bigger jam, you need a bigger tagline.
Job.
Job, yes. Oh, job.
Global game jar.
As long as it's said, it's well done. Global game jar.
Where are the games from the Global Game Jam?
In the global game jar.
Game jar.
Where is the global game
UTC
jar?
plus one.
UTC plus one.
Okay, this is a registrations issue. Video game developers didn't have a problem with this, but as we have seen, board gamers did. An idea to fix that is to have separate registration form that's common for both video game developers and board game developers that would check interests on what the participants can do, what the participants what kind of game the participants want to make. and have it separate, have it on our own, and leave the global game jam website registrations for the start of the jam. And in that way, the only people who are registered on the global game jam website will be those people that came and are actually participating.
Yeah, that's okay.
Now,
I think there's a thing for the Game Jam website. I think they should introduce cancel function.
Absolutely.
I think they have.
Yes, if you send an email.
I know that they have a kick out, and that I did kick out people after the jam, people that didn't
okay.
come.
But I think it
So
would be
clearly
nice just for people to have in mind that if they aren't supposed to participate, they should cancel.
Yeah.
Because it makes so much things so much easier for us, for everybody else. So I think that's a thing we should propose to them.
Yeah. You're talking like Jamie Oliver.
Delicious hamster, London. Look, it's delicious.
Now-
All the Northwest.
Related to this, my suggestion is to have entrance fees next time. So those fees will be around 1,000 dinars, 2,000 dinars. They would cover enough to cover lunches during the jam, or maybe lunches and dinner during the jam. So just price to make sure that only those willing to participate sign up, so that we minimize the number of no-shows, and so that we can organize some catering and not think about donesi.com and ordering food. Instead, we could do it all in advance and have more free time for us to organize it. And you'd be able to count on, okay, food's coming in exactly at 1 p.m. Yes?
I'm thinking, because I found out about this jam, like, I don't exactly remember how, but it was kind of spontaneous. And I think one of the factors I came with now was because it's free. Not because I would intentionally not want to pay, but I think I wouldn't even pay attention to it if it was a paid thing. So it would be a good thing to somehow make people believe that, I mean, I was aware that I will have to pay for the food, and I spent, as you say, like 2,000 dirhams or so anyway, but knowing that I don't pay for the fee actually made
It's
it
like
very more attractive to me.
Yeah, that's
That's like free-to-play games and
Yes,
retail
yes.
releases.
Yeah, I think
You'll pay anyway.
but
You would definitely scare away a lot of people.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Esther said something, but I didn't quite.
no, as you said, commenting on the Slobodan's comments, that could definitely scare some people off. But I think we already have quite a community now. Scared community. Well, not really scared.
Because, I mean,
A lot of people.
I think it could be less. I mean, if it was like 200, then still no shows would never, sign up for it.
Yeah, that's a possible variant. So this we could have several tiers in that case, but definitely when you pay for something, you commit to it, and it helps us organize the event better. We can plan for people exactly.
We could actually organize humble bundle style fees. You could pay from 200 dinars to 2,000 dinars.
Well, that doesn't decrease.
No,
the-
it's
We can have it like Kickstarter.
I'd say it's better to carry it in tiers because is it tiers or tiers? Tiers.
Tiers.
I always said tiers.
do you know how other game jam locations deal with this issue?
Some have entrance fees, some are free. Okay, I can't remember exact locations, but I know some had, one location had a $15 entrance fee.
$50.
15. Nordic Game Jam has an entrance fee of about 90 euros.
Wow.
So I think it's more a community issue, a culture issue. Since there's already enough of us here who know each other, there's there is now a sizable community, if I dare say. Having a fee wouldn't be such a problem as if this was a first global game jam, I think.
What about Macedonia?
I think their entrance fee was free. There was none.
Yeah. So they had a lot of coverage. They were supported by their local samouprava.
Yeah, that's my problem.
Municipality.
Administration.
Administration.
general,
Administration. They have a local game development company that sponsors them. They have 2 locations. They're very well organized.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Someone one
I wanted to add something.
yes.
If you decide to charge for a game jam fee, 1,000
Yes.
years, just be straightforward and transparent with what people get for that money.
Yes.
And it will be okay.
Yes.
Make
It
sure.
will be okay. When people know you'll get free lunches, drinks and sandwiches in many sizes and variations. So they're gonna be okay because someone said, I know, who exactly. I spent 2,000 dinars anyway during the 48 hours.
That's
I ordered 43 times 500, 600 dinars, so it's pretty much the same. But if I pay in advance and guarantee, and I get a guarantee that I'll get food and drinks and.
did you mention that in this speedrun was a paid event?
I did.
You mentioned it. Yeah. Yeah.
But we discussed the whole event is about money. You get money rewards if a game wins, so that's why they charge.
Yeah, but
entrance fee.
yes, they need an entrance fee exactly so the
So
teams.
tournament, it's not exactly a game, but it's more of a tournament.
The reason for their entrance fees is so the teams can't make 30 games during the month of the English speedrun. What's next? Yes, regarding those procedures, the instructions, so that everyone doesn't have to run towards us with lots of questions. We did send a document this year. Time? No. Okay, I'm going to try, but I'm near the end. And I think this is the largest slide we're going to have today, the largest presentation, considering the number of slides. We sent a document, but it was sent like 3 days before the jam. I think we should have sent it earlier, so you'd be more informed about the jam. And I think we should also have a session next time, a week before the jam. That's not going to be a preparation in the sense of how to finish a game during the jam, but preparation in the sense of how does the global game jam work? How should the games be submitted? How did it go the years before? More about this technical stuff.
Yeah.
And make sure
Yes.
you stream it and upload to YouTube. So
Yes, definitely.
Maybe we could do some sort of newsletter to introduce people with some informative articles, practical examples.
Yeah, something like that is going to be now much easier now that we have an open mailing list. So it is viewable, it is searchable on Google, it's viewable by anyone, even those non-members. Yes?
I'd like to add what you said just about the newsletter thing. There's a problem we're currently discussing, the 3 of us. The fact that when you send an email, when you send a link, when you send anything that should be read, the people just don't read that.
No, or they do read it, but don't reply to it, which you can't know if they read it.
I'm not referring to those things. But, for example, we sent links the Global Game Jam manual. If anybody read that manual, they wouldn't ask so much questions. So the thing is, I think newsletters are not really the solution to the problems of miscommunication. I think that's something that should be discussed with the participants for us to for them to tell us what they lacked in communication with the organization.
Yeah.
But not this piece newsletter. It's also.
I think we definitely have to hit them from different fronts.
I think that it's not actually that of a problem because I haven't read it myself before the jam. I knew it was there, but I forgot about it.
Why didn't you?
Nenad also didn't read it, and when this time came to be that we have to pack everything up and send it to GGJ, I asked you something about it. You said, "Did you read the document?" I said, "Oh yeah, the document." We went to the document, we read it, we filled it up, and I mean there was absolutely no problems.
Yeah. So the
I
manual
think
works.
everybody can do this if they actually.
Read the
You know, I think people are like, why would I read this when I can ask it down here?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to next. Yes.
There's always have people that are more resourceful than others. I personally didn't read the newsletters and I recommend reading
Okay, the newsletters was the survey, so you.
No one reads the newsletters. But I want to point out that it was still manageable. You just to read it and finish everything within 1 hour, because actually we finished the game 1 hour after your deadline. And in that extra hour, we had just enough time to read the document, finish everything, fill it up, and upload.
So here's a question. The thing Nemanja just said about sending, I don't know, fun articles or articles on how to do something. And I'm not talking global game jam things here. I'm talking, say,
This is funny cat.
no, how to do this and this, or how to do this and that, and stuff like that. That wouldn't work in a newsletter because no one reads it. So if I say started sending, okay, this is tips and tricks from Unity, no one would read it because you expect newsletter mail with his messages, and you fail to see that you could learn something from it. So newsletters, I think, don't work just on the basis of people not, well, reading them.
Well, I'd say, just like I said earlier, you have to communicate with people on many different levels. Some react to text, some react to newsletters, some react to vocal simulation. You have to call them a Skype or phone. You have to be personal with some. You have to get them in a group and tell them, "Hey guys, we're doing this. See how it's done. Now let me see your work." So, yes, you have an idea.
Yes, that should be discussed afterwards because
Okay.
we don't have
Okay. Shall we go on? We're near the
Yes,
end.
one thing I want to add in a sentence. I think this open Google group would solve at least 30% of those problems. I think.
Well, I thought so too when I opened my Google group for the workshops I'm holding, and it really doesn't.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's anecdotal. It's only one group.
No, but in my experience organizing workshops, a bunch of, like, I think like 70% of the people looks at newsletters that you send before the organization event as to give them some extra information. And I think, I'll deal with this later. I'll deal with it workshop.
Okay, we can leave that
Yeah.
that discussion for later. There's a lot to talk about. So we're thinking about having a really hard deadline, like we talked about. A really hard deadline for the next game jam. Stop doing that with your hands. You did something like this.
Maybe he has done this before.
And I just did it once. I'm
So-
just doing
so
this.
we already talked about this. The idea is to have a hard deadline so people actually do finish earlier, so we can actually start with the presentations earlier, so we can have more people during the presentations
And submit everything in time,
and submit everything on time.
which is more important than
On time, in time.
actually. Sorry?
We should discuss the difference between on time and in time. That's interesting.